to conclude this.
Maybe not.
I still haven't thought of a name for it. The storytelling time, this reminiscing time. I'll say we're conclude the reminiscing time with more about our Alfred Daisy Adams family times together and children, and then maybe something else about community in general, community involvement. And as I said, the boys, we became interested in golf as a family. Alfred was the vice president of Boone Developments, which is the organization that built and even now operates in Boone Golf Club. And as I said, the boys became caddies. And then as college students, they worked at night. After the golf course was built, they would work at night watering the greens and maybe go to school of days and all like that. I mean, they've always had good work ethics, and I consider them very conscientious workers. Therefore, I think they must be good employees of wherever they are. But anyway, let me tell a little more about golf. When Boone did not have a golf course, we began at a little course at West Jefferson, and it was just 9 holes. And instead of having sand in the holes, they had wood shavings from a sawmill. You know, those wood scraps, I mean fine wood shavings. And if you hit the ball into what you'd call a sand trap now, it was into a pile of those shavings. And you either left that ball or you took your hands and felt down in there until you found it.
Oh, so you couldn't hit out of it.
No, you couldn't see. You couldn't see it, and so we went to West Jefferson as a family to play golf, and then I don't know how we got privileges to go to Boyne Rock Country Club golf course, but we did, and we'd play together on Sunday afternoons, some after church, and this particular Sunday I had a little lunch packed, and so right after church we went to the Boyne Rock Golf Club, and we were just playing along, and we still in the golf bag we had this food, and we got to a nice tea, and there was a bench. Well, we thought this is a good place for us to eat, and there we sat on that bench on the golf. Eating food, and people came through playing golf, and there we sat, 5 people, 2 adults and 3 boys. So since those days, we've learned a lot about golf.
Did you and Papa play together before the boys?
No, we just played as a family. We began as a 5-some. Alfred was left-handed, and he got some left-handed clubs, and then the boys would get clubs, and then, anyway, it's golf, as I say, they've really, really worked at it, and I belong to Boone Ladies have a nice organization, and there's national senior games, and for 15 years I had played golf in the senior games. That was my participation in senior games, and I had done it up until this year, and I didn't think I could, but there is a saying that if you think you can, you can. So this year I played in senior golf games, and of course I won my flight because I was the only person in it. The age group was from 85 to 90, and I was 88, almost 89, and there were only 3 other ladies playing too, 4 in fact. and me in the senior games. So I have another senior games trophy though for the final one, I think. And
There are a lot of golf trophies in this family, and you've got
Yes,
your share. That's
there
for
are
sure.
golf trophies in this family, believe me. The boys have gone different places. They used to play in Charlotte, at Quail Hollow, in what they call the, wasn't it turkey tournament?
I think so.
One time they brought home 5, wasn't it, turkeys?
It's true.
Anyway, another thing that has played a really important role in our lives has been the church. And as I mentioned about my grandfather having been pastor, but that we as citizens of Boone, we began there when Austin was a baby. When we moved into Boone, we lived within the town of Boone. We joined First Baptist Church, and each boy was baptized and became members of First Baptist Church. And they used to go to Camp Joy, which is a day camp that the church and other churches in the area used to sponsor, and they would participate in that. And in recent years, they did a very special thing. We had an addition to our church, and there was a room that was needing furnishing, and so it was to be called the conference room, and so it is now called, sometimes they refer to it as the Adams Conference Room, but seldom do they do that. But there is a plaque in there that says, in honor of Daisy, that was during Alfred's lifetime. It was dedicated during Alfred's lifetime, and it was a surprise Sunday, and all the children and all our sons and their families that could be there were there. And the plaque means very, very much to me. It is in honor of Alfred and Daisy Adams, and by their sons, and then they have a Bible verse on the nice plaque on the wall, and it is one of the most used rooms in the church building, because it is a long table with 24 chairs. It has a TV in it, a telephone in it, bookcases in it, and meetings of all kinds are held in that conference room. And we had a pastor, Dr. Lamar King, and he worked real well with Austin and the family in the furnishings, and we hope that room to continue being used. And the boys, they just always knew to go to Sunday school and church, but they would hurry home and hurry to the golf course. And they would they tell a story of how one time Sam and Tom were taking up the collection, and they got to the very last, and it was a Sunday night, which is a very little income anyway, and they got to the very last, and one of them, I don't remember which, but he turned the plate upside down just like he was pouring all the money out for the other to see. And then they like to play tricks, and before they were old enough to drive, their dad and I used to either drive them to pick up a girl to take to the movie. See, back then you asked me what Alfred and I did. There was not a lot of entertainment. There was bowling. Alfred and I could go bowling. We could go to the movies, which were very cheap then, 10 and 25 cents. And then if we had a car, we would go driving. And then told you. And the boys did similar things. I'm sure they took girls to the movie. And I can remember picking them up sometimes after they had walked the girl home from the movie. And then Alfred wore, he milked and did all that and coveralls and high top boots and all. And once he took one of them, Austin, to pick up a girl and dressed like that. And after it was over, Austin very calmly said, "Dad, if you don't mind, if next time, if you'd change clothing or something," which was very appropriate and not offensive at all. And the boys, I think they were careful in their choice of nice girlfriends. Austin was dating Jane Hodges the night that she was crowned Miss Watauga.
Oh, wow.
She was very attractive, and she's a very attractive lady now who lives in North Wilkesboro. If I knew her husband's name. Her mother still lives in Boone. She's 90-some years old, Bill Hodges.
Oh, wow.
And Sam and Jackie, of course, dated a long time. They were high school sweethearts.
Sure.
And have had an outstanding marriage, and Tom, what nice families Tom has. And we've that was one thing that I wish I had mentioned about my parents. My parents tried to instill with us to keep, we called it then good company, stay with nice people, and especially as your friends, to have let your friends be nice people, because, and I think that our boys more or less succeeded as that.
That's true.
Because I think they did that, and then they never were in special trouble except maybe driving fast or something.
Sure.
And that was very, and the patrolmen, they knew them. And of course your dad was outstanding in college athletics, you see. I think all three of them are in the university's Hall of Fame. I think they have plaques in the athletic Hall of Fame trophy case, don't they?
I've seen them, yes.
Yeah, you have seen them.
Yes.
Okay, each boy, three Adams boys are in there for golf. See, they had a coach, he was Coach Hoover, and he would take them on intercollegiate game to other colleges, and I'm not just talking about North and South Carolina. He took them on to for other states, like Iowa, I think as far away as Iowa.
Wow.
He would load those boys in 5 or 6 boys in a college vehicle, and here he'd go.
Mm.
And three of the 5 or 6 would be Adams brothers.
Wow, sure.
And then now Sam, has recently, in the last 3 years, has been inducted in. He was one of the first inductees into Watauga County's Hall of Fame. And so they've really excelled in golf, really.
That's true.
And they now the boys have never chosen to join civic clubs as much as Alfred did. Alfred was a member of Rotary Club and other clubs in town, the business clubs especially. And then he was very active in the Chamber of Commerce. And right now, there is an award. There are 3 men that have awards that are annually given that are named for people. One is the Mr. Wade Brown Award. One is Mr. Suttle Award, Ben Suttle Award, and a third one is the Alfred Adams Economic Award, and it's given to a person that has helped to develop Watauga County economically, and it's been given to companies, that have succeeded, that have done well economically, and they have just recently been announcing that will be given in this year, the year 2005, that those 3 awards will be given, and for people to be turning in nominations for them. And of course, that's very meaning to us that we go. And
Can you talk a little bit about how civically conscious both you and Pawpaw were, and how involved you were in the community throughout your lives and the
Okay.
growth of Watauga County?
Okay. Alfred, as I said, was more active in I was until I would go with him to meetings, but I never chose to join Rotary. But after his death, I chose to become a member of Boone Chamber of Commerce because they showed Alfred they honored Alfred so much, and I always something I enjoyed doing was going with Alfred to banking conventions, and we used to go to and we were in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and Alfred was inducted into North Carolina's 50-year banking club.
I remember that.
And the boys sent him a nice jacket and something while we were there for that convention. And the bank, the Wachovia Bank now, has the Alfred Adams boardroom, bank boardroom, which is very nice. And in it they have a portrait of Alfred. And they meet, that's where they have the meetings, and they encourage civic clubs to meet in that boardroom if they choose.
Sure.
And they can have
Is this the bank right down the hill?
right down the hill, the Wachovia that's on the corner.
Sure.
And
Pawpaw went to daily until he was about what age? He went
89, I guess, or
Sure.
88 or 9.
Sure.
Till he was, when he couldn't drive, and had even, I guess I took him when he was in a wheelchair.
Yes, you did.
He would go and sit in the lobby. I know I'd have to get someone to help me load the wheelchair. It was so heavy.
Sure.
But that was his emotional and physical therapy,
That's
to
right.
go and sit in the lobby of the bank. And it was very rewarding because so many people knew him, and he knew them.
And he used his position as a banker in order to help people out, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And, he, even in those years that we're discussing, people would tell him, you gave me my first bank loan.
Sure.
You helped me buy my house.
Sure.
You let me have my car. And just recently, one of the local town council members, Graydon Eggers, I think it was Graydon, told me, he said that he wanted to borrow like $100, and he said, Mr. Adams, I need $100 or $2, and he said, okay, you just write me a check, and I'll let you give it, and you can just write a check, and you can get the money. And he said he did, and says, now Graydon, write me a second check. Well, Alfred took that first check, cashed it, and handed him $100, and he said, Mr. Adams, why do you want this second check? He said, just in case. But supposedly, anyway, but he helped lots and lots of people. And we even, when we lived in that little 5-room house, Alfred was so interested, we entertained, we had out to dinner, we had the commissioner of banking of
Did you
North
really?
Carolina.
Wow.
And we had a little dining room. I remember it so vividly. And I wasn't embarrassed because we had a nice dining furniture, and we entertained him in that dining room. And then Mr. Duncan, who was in charge of the bank, he and Ms. Duncan, they used to come visit, but we used to go to Sparta and visit them. So we were involved with people, and I've been involved in, Alfred taught a Sunday school class, was Sunday school superintendent, and I worked in the Sunday school preschool department like 35 years, and then was in charge of the Women's Missionary Union, and then GAs, and then after retirement I joined the Garden Club and retired teachers, and recently I've become a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution, and so we've really been involved with people
That's true.
because we like people, and so and we've been blessed to have friends, to socialize with.
Certainly. Several friends calling.
No reason to call back or anything. I was just calling to let you know I was thinking about you. And I hope you're
Fortuitous timing on the friend.
rehab this week. But
Talking about
if not,
friends.
I hope you have a good week anyhow. And then we'll miss you if you're not sick. So take good care of yourself. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.
See, I've discussed school, church, family. Mark,
Talk to me a little bit more about golf and the
Golf.
role that golf played and how
Okay.
that played a role as you and the family and the boys' lives and how often you play. I know we've got some nice pictures of y'all on the course together as you know the boys throughout the ages and getting older. And just tell me
well,
more
the
about
boys,
that.
they were rather competitive. And then, I bet I haven't told this, and I told about at ASU, each of them having a trophy or whatever it is in the Trophy Hall of Fame. For many years, Tom Adams was ASU's girls golf coach, and for many years, Sam Adams was the boys golf coach. And he really has an interesting story about him taking the boys to Miami to a golf tournament, and the van that they flew. They got enough money to fly, but then they rented a van, and while they were out playing golf, the van was stolen. And the boys came in and they said, "Coach, the van's gone." There was all the clothes that they'd taken. All the boys had was what they had on their back and their golf clothes. And he tells of how they went into the store. He happened to have enough cash on him for them to buy toothbrushes and some food and stuff like that. And they came back home before that van was found.
Yes, they
And-
fly back home.
I've forgotten all the details. Yeah, they had to from Miami.
Sure.
I guess the college wired them money or something, did something.
Sure.
But that's one of Sam's golf coaching stories.
Huh.
So, but when they became so busy with that, and you see, Sam on the tour, we saw, Alfred and I saw Sam win on the PGA Tour. We saw him win in Davenport, Iowa, and your dad and the other family members were here in Boone, in this very room that you and I are in, and what they called Sam, and he was leading this tournament, and leading by like 15 strokes or something. And they said, now Sam may win some more tournaments, but this will be his first one. You should be there. Well, at 4 o'clock next morning, we were flying out of Charlotte Airport. And we got into Davenport, Iowa on that afternoon, and we somehow got to the golf course, and we found out where he was, but we wouldn't let him see us. But this course was so interesting. They had built up a platform, and they had a little ceremony of the award, giving Sam a PGA check. You see, then it was meant more money than it was $20,000. But they made a facsimile of the check, and we have a picture of it, and they presented it to him, and then they had a reception for him afterward. But Alfred said he had to hold me back from the area, but we stood where we could see, and when he had about finished and they received the check, he and Jackie, he started to walk down. He says, "I think I see my parents." Of course, I've always remembered those words.
Nice, sure.
So we're kind of lopsided in the sports. But now Alfred was something else, the Horn in the West. And I went there last night. I didn't go for the whole drama, but I went for the Doc Watson part.
Certainly.
He was the feature at the beginning of that last night. And Alfred was a founder of the Appalachian Historical Association, which was the founder of Horn in the West.
Yes. And the first Daniel Boone.
Ned was the first
Yes.
Daniel Boone, and he and Bobby met there, and then they were married, and their family now is quite grown up.
You mentioned this room a minute ago, Mama Daisy, and if you would, just talk to me a little bit about some of the family traditions. I always associate being here with Christmases and birthdays and Thanksgiving and special occasions. And
Mark
tell me a little
is
bit about strawberry shortcake and throwing packages and things like that, if you would. And,
Mark is right about us being sort of unconventional. I guess that's one way to put it mildly. Our family is we enjoy birthday. We like celebrations,
We do.
and strawberry shortcake seems to be the favorite birthday cake, and we don't like to miss a chance to have those for birthdays. And then at Christmas time, for years and years, we have had family a special day set aside for a family Christmas party, and the little ones and the old ones and all ages get together in the living room, and we've had different kinds of trees, and
So some would say different kinds of trees, including various sizes of twigs. We had some.
One time we
trees
had
that
we
didn't look
did
so healthy, didn't we?
we've Mark's right. One time we had one that didn't have much foliage or much anything. But it had some decorations on
That's
it.
right,
It was
did.
decorated or lighted,
It's true.
and the packages are sort of they don't have to be traditional, but they're usually useful. And Dad played an important role. It was very, very meaningful to him. It was tradition to give for the parents and grandparents, usually to give just a monetary gift, a money or a check or something, and that was left for the very last, because prior to that, a name would be called, a gift would be handed to Pawpaw, and the name was called out. Well, no matter where that person was in the room, usually Grandpa, Pawpaw, threw that gift over the head of the other people toward that person. So you had to watch out. Well, if you was getting a gift, or if someone near you was getting a gift, you had to protect yourself from the oncoming package. And everybody brought packages. Oh, I think the family has been so generous with their Christmas gifts, and always giving so freely. And as I say, it has surprised me how they have, the family has understood the needs, some useful gift to give. In recent years we began drawing names. At first we didn't draw names for the small ones, like from 8 or 10 down, but even now we draw for that. We don't have any. We don't draw for the great-grandchildren because they're young enough till you can shower them, but even the children now seem to know, even like 10 years old, they seem to know. And a master, we draw the names. Oh, by the way, we do have a tradition that has begun in recent years. We celebrate Thanksgiving together out of town, and we've been to places at Pinehurst. We have rented condos at Pinehurst. We have rented or gone to Austin's place in Kiowa at Thanksgiving, and usually at Thanksgiving that is name drawing time. And you draw a name, and a master copy is made of the names, and that is kept back here in this room, over the refrigerator in the cabinet. That master list, and if anybody forgets, they'll call. Tom will call and say, "Whose name did Sam draw, or whose name did I draw, so I hope as long as I'm here that that we will have a special day set aside for an Adams family Christmas party, because after Dad was gone, a note was given to everybody along with a monetary gift saying that Dad is not here in person, but I think that he would want to be part of the celebration. And Dad's death, we all know about that, and it has left a big void in my life, but I guess I'm the most fortunate widow probably on the planet, because I have such a caring, loving family. Well, it's been shown in this. Who'd ever think of a grandson doing this for just his grandmother, just his dad's mother? Then who would think of married sons checking daily? How you feeling this morning? Then there are many children that would not consider letting a parent who is almost 89 years old live alone. But they give me that privilege. They let me be in my home where I've been 30-some years in familiar surroundings, and they know if I need them, that they would be there within a matter of minutes, or they know that I could get help within a matter of minutes, and they are understanding and sensible enough to cause me to be that fortunate to have them so caring, so compassionate, and I like to use the word lovable. I think I have such a lovable family. They have personalities that make people want to love them. Then I think that I have such a loving family because they give love. They share it. They show love in acts. That has been shown today with Cheryl having her dad and Mark and me and others for Father's Day meal, and then calls. See, Mark didn't stop at one try to get his dad on the phone. He knew he couldn't see him in person, but he started and tried number of times, and different numbers, to try to wish his own father a good Father's Day. And I can't understand why I am so divinely blessed. I don't understand death. I don't understand lots of things about life. But somehow I think that I am divinely cared for and divinely blessed. I don't know about angels. I don't know about them. They're just that. But I believe that that is power beyond myself that has blessed me all these years of my life, that I've been able to have these wonderful, wonderful experiences. But I've had them mostly because of family, because of my family's families, because of my family's friends. They have made my life so much more fulfilling, so much more rewarding, so much happier. And I am, if anybody that sees or hears this, I wish that I could convey words that would express my gratitude to my family, to the people, to the words that I have just said about them. I wish that somehow you could just get a tiny, tiny bit feeling of how sincere I am, how very, very sincere and grateful I am. Because I think that love is one of the greatest things, and we all know that. Divine love and love for each other, and I think that I am blessed with that.
It's true. We, your family, are very thankful for the love and guidance you've given us, Mama Daisy.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you. I just have a few more questions that we were looking at earlier.
Okay.
And I guess I'll just ask, if you were to look back on your life, what are the things you're most proud of?
Of my family and the successes. See, first is health. They've been blessed with health. There's been minor things, but my family has been mentally competent. In fact, very mentally alert, very much blessed mentally and intellectually, and then they've been mentally and physically smart enough to excel. My family has been my greatest success and my greatest thing in life. My family and church, those are two things. They're kind of intertwined.
Certainly.
Intertwined.
Sure. How would you like to be remembered?
As a mother and a grandmother and a mother-in-law and a caring person who cares, who by caring I mean loves others, and I'm interested in the welfare of others, and I wish the very best for others, and I feel humble. I would like to be remembered as a and I think you correctly say, and a humble person.
Yes.
I'd like to be remembered as that, because I have no reason to be otherwise. I have no reason not to be humble, because of I've been so, my life has been so, and except for the loneliness and the sadness of Alfred's being gone, I couldn't imagine how hard that has been.
Mm-hmm.
That has been very, very difficult to adjust to.
Sure.
But I have the memories and the blessings, and I've named them in the last few minutes.
That's true. Very true.
And I'm thankful that the marriage we had together, the children we had, see, those are ours.
That's true.
They're our family. Not my family, but our family. So I would like to, and I introduce myself a lot of times as Alfred's widow, because we were part of each other so long.
That's true. Are there other things
You have
you'd
other
like to
questions?
add?
Beg your pardon?
Are there other things you'd like to add, or I can ask you about you to define happiness or to define success?
No, we all have our different feelings. I mean, to some people, one thing is successful, where something else is another, you know. Of course, it's a success. You're successful to just win a golf game.
Sure.
That's a type of success. But we all then, different types of successful are more meaningful to one person than they are another individual.
That's true.
Friendship is very important to me.
And you've had a lot of good friends.
Friendships of different variety of people.
Sure.
Because they add a lot to my life, knowing them and their type of life. I've been very fortunate to have some outstanding friends, but indirectly, my family was responsible for me having them.
Sure.
Then I traveled. I did travel. I might say that in retirement, I had a teacher friend who was a tour guide, and I went with another teacher friend and we traveled across the United States. Now, this will sound real fast, and we traveled to from North Carolina to Seattle, Washington. It was a well-planned trip. We did it in 26 days. We made that trip. We visited 25 states.
You are kidding.
But each morning, that tour guide, she hired a bus. It was not her profession, but she has been mostly around the world in her lifetime, as like you have, in different ways. She has been. She gave us an itinerary for that day, and what places we were going to see. Like if we were going in some place, Branson, Missouri.
Okay.
We were there like maybe a day or something, or we were only one place 2 days, I think.
Oh, wow.
And I was in Seattle, and I got to have an evening meal with a former classmate in the Space Needle.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
And it made the complete turn.
Wow.
And then that was one of the men who had been a doctor in my class, had made a medical doctor. And the next day he took me and another classmate and his wife into Canada. So I got to travel that. And then after I traveled, we'd only, out of the States, we went to Bermuda.
I see.
To a bank convention. But we did fly to New York several times.
And you also went to San Francisco, too, yes?
Yes, we did go to San Francisco. That effort was part of an international bank thing, and that's why we went to. That was an international organization in San Francisco, because that's when I rode the streetcar. Lolly, what do you call it?
Sure, a streetcar, I think. Yeah.
Well, that's what it was. I took a cab, and the lady says, when I paid her, she says, now, if you want to just pay a quarter to get back from the church, I went to church. She says, just go down and get in a streetcar for a quarter or something like that. So we
I
went.
didn't mean to interrupt you. Tell me about New York. Can I also ask you what year it was that you traveled across the country, and about what,
about
when you retired?
About 75 or 6 in the 70s.
Sure.
It was just right out of
I
retirement.
see.
Another thing we enjoyed was building our homes together. See, we had
Sure.
1, 2, 3. We had 3 homes. No, we had 1, 2. I guess that. And 2 of them are being used.
Yeah.
2 of our, plus this one that we're living in.
Remind me, Tony.
We have 4. We lived in 4 houses.
Will you describe them to me and tell me
Okay,
where
the
they
first house is on State Farm Road right now, and it was the 5-roomer. I told you where we entertained the commissioner of banks.
Sure.
I thought I might think of his name, but and some of the lumber in that house was from my dad's farm. And my dad helped Alfred to cut it. Dad didn't have a sawmill then, but he helped him cut it. And that house is standing. And we built a high roof, and now she made an attic in it. And instead of having 5 rooms, she has 2 or 3 bedrooms upstairs. And it's there right now. Wow. And I have seen her this season. She came back from Florida, and and then we built a house down the highway, and we were at the end of the road. That was before the new highway between Blowing Rock was built, and we built a house, and we didn't have a telephone, and Dad got a telephone because he was on the in the Chamber of Commerce. Sure. And just this week I had a phone from Southern Bell South, and they said, we want to talk to you. We're going to give you some, is it amenities, some perks,
sure.
And says, you're one of our older customers. I said, yeah, we've been with you for years. And she answered this to me. She says, you've been with us since 1965.
You're kidding. Wow.
Bell South.
Wow. I hope they gave you good amenities.
Well, I'll tell you about it later. I don't know. They are not. In fact, did. I don't know if they are. And let's see what else. But so the Northwestern Band had a corporate plane, and we used to fly to Pinehurst in it.
Oh, okay.
And we would have different banks like Northwestern would have to host. We'd have a hostess room. and Dad and I would have to be hostess when Northwestern's night would be,
Oh, I see.
when you had refreshments. And of course, we chose not to drink any alcoholic beverages. And at first, when we'd have dinners, we would turn our wine glasses upside down because Alfred chose not to, and I chose not to even drink wine. And we'd turn them upside down, and our friends started telling us, don't do that. Let them fill them. We won't.
Oh, you're kidding.
So that's one of the things I remember from. And I can remember when Hugh McCall, who was head of Bank of America and is retired, I remember when he ran for an office and for the state banking convention and didn't win. And I know he was frustrated because he was very outstanding.
Sure.
And I remember who is head of the Bank of Granite now. He was active in North Carolina banking conventions.
Sure.
But Mr. Duncan, Alfred had a little sickness, and they were going to New York shopping one Christmas, and Mr. Duncan says, we're going to take a corporate plane. And Alfred says, you need a rest, says, you and Daisy go with us. And we went to New York at Christmas time with them shopping,
wow.
and it got time to come home. After we were there a couple of days or two, and there was a storm. And even there were some military planes there at, I guess it was LaGuardia. It was one of the New York airports. And they had Kirby, some Captain Kirby, I can't think of his name, but he was an outstanding pilot. And he took off in that storm. And I saw lightning play on the wings of that Northwestern Bank plane flying, and we could not land in North Wilkesboro. We had to go, I think it was Greenboro. He landed us, and then we had to get on to Boone.
I think I would have been a little scared.
So we had some nice banking experiences together.
Sure. I think we talked about two of your houses. Did we talk about?
The two that are now, three are being lived in. I'm living in one.
Sure.
Come to think of it, all four are being lived in.
You're kidding.
When we sold the land where Shadowline Mall is now, the Shadowline, we sold some of the land, and that Shadowline plant was built on. In fact, I think Alfred gave a little portion of our land to get Shadowline to come to Boone. So the plant was built, we built a house, and we lived on Shadowline Drive. When we sold the house, they de-bricked it to move it because they were going to use that land for something else. And he moved it down where now is a municipal park. It's near the swimming pool.
Okay.
All right, the other house, I told you, moved up on the hill, and they told us not to move the dishes. And it was not made of brick, but it was made of asbestos shingles. So it was very sturdy, and we'd had the same builder. And so Joe Williams was his name. Joe Williams parked both of those houses down near what was then a nursing home. Down and now it's near the swimming pool and near the armory.
Okay.
It was down below the Boone Armory, and he parked them there. Well, some years later, a place that now is in use out off of 421 near Mac Brown's, that on a hillside there is a low-income housing development. Joe Williams moved two of those houses to that low. He sold them, I'm sure, to Hub. Isn't Hub what is low housing?
It is.
I think he sold them. Anyway, at one time, Tom Adams drove us up there, and now they have them all looking alike right now because I have driven myself there in recent years, or drove Alfred maybe in the last 3 to 5 years, or shorter time it may have been. They've got them all looking alike, but we could pick out the one that had the picture window.
You're kidding.
We had 2 picture windows. One was bigger than the other in the first house that was moved up on the hill, and we picked out. So we have had the experience of building and living in 4 houses, and now they have people occupying them.
It's amazing. That's amazing. Talk to me a little bit about your life today, Mama Daisy. Tell me what some of the best parts of being your age now, and what a typical day is like for you. And
Well,
you're very active for your age, I must say.
my biggest health problem is a generic problem, and it is a heart condition. I have the high blood pressure, and in recent year, I guess I've had treadmill tests, but it shows that one little back corner of my heart, the muscles are not as strong and doesn't pump the blood as well. And I have developed in the last year or two some high blood pressure, and I have had to have another one of those stress tests, and they say that whatever that part is in this heart has fixed itself.
Has it really?
It is fixed. It don't the muscles don't work as well, but they're not inflamed, and they are not blocked. But like 10 days ago, I woke up in the middle of the night with my heart out of rhythm. It was racing, and years and years ago, I had an attack similar to it was Friday. It was a week ago Friday, and I took my blood pressure medicine. According to doctor's advice, I keep a blood pressure cuff, and I take my own pressure, and the pressure was all right, but my heart was racing, and usually the rate is low, in the 50s and 60s. I don't know what yours is. You may not know. Everyone's an individual, but mine, more a week ago Friday, Thursday night it was, on my cuff it was double that. It was more than that. It was, and so I waited an hour. I took nitroglycerin, which is supposed to open up all the vessels up and flow better, and it didn't help much. And then I took my blood pressure. It didn't help. I waited an hour, not 2 hours, but almost, and it still was like between 4 o'clock in the morning, between 4 and 5. And this was during Sam's real busy time. So I got in the car and drove myself to the hospital, and I got a little chastising for that. Sure. But they put me in the ICU. They gave me a shot in my stomach, and they slowed down my heart. And I haven't had any trouble. They just kept me overnight in ICU, kept me a couple of days. They moved me out in another room and then discharged me, and I haven't had any trouble since. My health problems is just lack of energy, and therefore I sometimes don't walk as well, as stable, but I'm very careful. I keep canes or stuff around when just for early morning or stuff, and so my.
But you're very active. You played around the golf, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, but now that helped bring on this tiredness. I think it did. Yeah, I don't plan to play a whole nother round. Well, it was a little pressure. I was wanting to do well.
Sure.
I had played a few holes before practicing, because the golf course has some new parts you should go to, and I had played those the new parts before the senior games. But I don't plan to play in more senior games.
Well, tell me a little bit about how you're active you've got an exercise class you go to now?
Yes, and the doctor told me Friday, I was to the doctor Friday, and I'm going tomorrow he wants to know what might trigger this irregular beat or pulse rate. It's a pulse rate. He wants to see if I told him I'd want it in the hospital. He says he wants me to go around my daily activities.
I see.
So he wants me to walk, and he wants me. We see at the thing. This is there is woman in the program I am in that has an artificial heart.
Really?
She's 48 years old. She has had an artificial heart. She's 44 years old. She's had an artificial heart 3 years. On the 3rd anniversary of her artificial heart, she's very much overweight. Rachel is. I'm sorry, I would like to know her better. Rachel, the leader, one of the leaders of our program, we did her birthday cake with the 3 little candles for the 3rd anniversary of our artificial heart. And one of the people who have talked on that phone now it's one of the men that's in the program that they have missed me because I haven't been back all last week.
Sure.
And see, Mrs. Peacock, she's calling, and I've told her I won't be going tomorrow because you're here, and then.
You need to go make sure your test is okay.
And,
Tell me what an average day is like. And you go to
Okay.
that, and you
okay,
do some other
I
stuff?
get up. I used to get up fairly early. I mean, 6 o'clock. I'm up because I'm awake and I want to get up. And I did have the care of the dog,
Sure.
and she woke up about then.
I see.
And
You
then
want to say that Sophia recently?
yes,
Dog you have?
yes, she did. Sophie was our pet for some time, and Alfred liked her a lot, and I liked her. But she had gallstones. Had 5 gallstones. Had them removed, and she didn't get along very well after that surgery. And then she developed a stomach problem, and so last week she was put to sleep. And but she's just one of my memories now. And let's see, so a typical day then, 3 mornings I go to that. Then I always, I have a church circle, woman's missionary circle, once a month. That's a Monday. Once a month I go to lunch with the couples, and it was couples when Alfred was here. And it was 4 couples. It was 8 people, and one man's wife died, and he kept coming. And then Alfred passed away, and I kept going. So now there are 3 couples, and the single man that I used to teach with his wife, and so that's once a month. I go to that. Then I invite people right frequently to go to lunch with me. Then Wednesday night I go to every Wednesday night supper, and I've developed a friendship with the chef and his wife. They're African American, but his wife retired recently, and see now I have an invitation to her retirement dinner. He called me and said he was surprising her Tuesday night with their retirement dinner, and he wants me to be there for that. And so I go to lunch with, and then Saturday, last week, Jackie and I went to my family used to be my family doctor. My family doctor has developed cancer, very serious cancer, and he had 3-hour treatment of chemo last week, and they have a lake home, and last week his wife took me and Jackie to their lake home.
How nice.
And
Which lake?
Watauga Lake in Tennessee, and they have 100 steps down from their house down to the lake water,
wow.
to the water. And she says, "You're not going down there." I said, "I want to." She says, "You're not going there." So I didn't go down the steps. But that was one day. That was a special day. Jackie came over one day and helped me separate and do some jewelry and stuff, and then. Then I do my own laundry. Then I have household help 3 hours a week. She comes in, Glada comes, and I've had her about 35 years, and she helps me 3 hours on usually Thursday morning. And then now that I'm in the DAR and the garden club, and of course we have garden club activities. We used to always have a flower show. I worked on that, and then I do right much church visitation. I go to the nursing home, like this man that was here for the class reunion, and that took right much time planning that class reunion. And then I took him to Glenbridge to the nursing home to visit Mr. Wade Brown, who knew him and his father, and Mr. Wade Brown is 96. And his picture, Mr. Brown's picture, as president of Boone Develops, is in the club, in the shop, where the Boone Golf Club shop, and then Dad's picture's on the other side of the shop as vice president.
Sounds good.
So I go to the Boone Ladies business meetings. They have a business meeting every month. What else would I do of a day?
We've only got about
So-
2 minutes left.
Okay, I
think
just-
you're very, very busy.
Well, I do my own laundry and all but the 3 hours of, but I'm behind on my housekeeping and getting more stuff done about the house. But then I have had to put a new roof on the house, new guttering on the house, and then the outside of the house, the flowers and whatever that. Those are part. That's the way that's part of my time now.
Certainly. I think you're very busy.
And then Tom's asked me to eat a lot, and then Sam and Jackie, I go out to eat a lot with them. And I take neighbors on their birthdays to eat or something.
Sounds great. I
And
think we're about to run out of time.
anything else?
I think we're about to run out of time. We'll do one more tape. I'd feel more comfortable if we just had one more tape.
No, I've told everything.
No,
now.
that's not
No,
everything.
I've told everything.
No,
I have.
that's not everything. We can
That's
get a
not
little
everything.
more.
I go to funerals too.
Sure.
I went to a funeral Saturday where the cremation, my cousin was cremated, and they carried the urn.
Oh, yes.
That was a little bit sadder than a casket.
Was it? Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about it.
I'm not
I say I don't know,
haven't,
you know,
I haven't been to a funeral with a cremation. I don't know.
I don't know. You know, I have a power of health power of attorney and all in the hospital. So if I don't want to be kept on life supports,
Sure.
but I haven't made. But I do want to be buried by Dad's grave,
Certainly.
and I would like before dark for us to drive to Pawpaw's grave.